friends, once again Scotty here. Today we are driving the 2019 Jaguar F Pace SVR in Farenza Red. The interior color is called Ebony. It's a 5-liter supercharged 8-cylinder engine of 550 horsepower, 502 pound-feet of torque, if I can talk today. An 8-speed automatic transmission with paddle gear shift. It's all-wheel drive. It's got electric power steering, lots of other comfort and convenience items on it. It has a base price of $79,990 as tested, $90,200. Has the optional driver assist package, which is blind spot assistance, 360-degree surround camera, smartphone pack, 22-inch, 5-inch split spoke style wheels, aluminum weave carbon fiber trim finish, heads-up display, on and on it goes. It has a combined MPG of 18, 16 on the highway, combined of 18, 16 in the city, 21 on the highway. Yeah, this is a vehicle that originally took me a little time to kind of figure out how I felt about it. First of all, it doesn't scream Jaguar to me. At least not initially it didn't. I've had experience with a number of classic Jaguars, XK120s, XK140s, E-types, XJS, so on and so forth. And so it didn't originally scream Jaguar to me. When I first drove it, I wasn't sure that I got it. And now I really do get it. There's a lot of things to like about this car. There's a few things that I kind of question. The performance is, well, just nothing short of astounding. Brakes are phenomenal. It is an SUV, and by the way, that's just a normal mode. We also have a performance mode. I got a bunch of junk sitting on the console, so let's put it in performance mode. Actually, that's Eco. Dynamic. There we go. You know, this is kind of a muscle vehicle. I guess that's the best way I can think of to describe it. I always think of Jaguars as being, you know, very refined and somewhat shishy, and you know, lots of old school wood and leather and things like that, and that's really not what this vehicle is. And the sounds are just amazing. The cargo capacity is not fantastic. My 6'2" son, 16-year-old son sat in the back seat, and he had hit his head on the ceiling, so it's not overly roomy, I would say. The gas mileage is, as I said, just kind of so-so, and it is a premium fuel vehicle. And so, you know, this is a vehicle, I think, that is more than the sum of its parts. I mean, you would kind of look at all those things and scratch your head and say, well, I don't know. I mean, is this a vehicle that I want? But, you know, if you're a performance-oriented guy, the driving of this thing is pretty incredible. It is kind of a high center of gravity vehicle, so it sits kind of high up in the air. It's got some great big huge tires on it. It sticks to the road very, very well. It's not all that easy to climb in and out of, but I've never known a Jaguar that was. And you know, once you get used to it, it's surprisingly comfortable. The seats are very, very supportive. It does have heated seats in it. You know, but now the interior is another issue. There are parts of the interior that are very, very attractive. I like the tufting on the seats. The little swishes here are backlit at night. There's carbon fiber, but there's also a lot of plastic that seems somewhat out of place in a vehicle like this. It's got the Alcantara, I never can say that correctly, headliner. So yeah, it's got a lot of nice things about it, but you know, it seems like that there's just something Jaguar-esque that seems to be missing. And the other thing too is I'm not sure who Jaguar's customer is for this. I mean, you know, this is kind of a muscle vehicle, as I said. I mean, it kind of makes me think of somebody that, you know, maybe took an old school Chevy Blazer and put a 600 horsepower LS motor in it or something like that. I mean, that's kind of the feel that it has to me, or kind of the vibe that it has. So I'm not sure that folks are going to Jaguar showrooms looking for a vehicle like this. But, you know, they may be kind of missing out, because, as I said, once you drive it, it really grows on you. We got a little traffic here, so I can't really do much through the twisties, but I've enjoyed it. I've driven it, you know, I've driven it a lot. As you folks know, I do a lot of driving, burn up the roads a lot in Texas. And so I've done a lot of highway miles in it. And, you know, the more I drove it, the better that I liked it. It really grew on me. When I first got behind the wheel, I just kind of scratched my head and said, I'm not sure that I get this thing. But now, you know, Jaguar's going to pick it up in a few hours. and I kind of hate to give it back, if I'm going to be honest with you. It really has been a lot of fun. It is kind of pricey at $90,000, and I always think in terms of, if I'm making payments on this thing, how am I going to feel if I'm paying out, $500, $600, $700, $800 a month on payments? Am I going to really like it, paying that kind of money for it? And, I don't know, it would probably give me pause if I was buying it personally, but the buyer that's buying this car probably, they have another vehicle, and if they tire of it or whatever, they can certainly get another vehicle, replace it. I saw a Mercedes AMG G63 earlier today. I think that was the right designation. And, I got a thumbs up from that guy. I was at a customer's yesterday and had to load some stuff in the back and had the hatch open. And one of the security guards went, "Wow, man, nice SUV." So it does get a fair amount of attention, and I think people recognize it as something special. So, it has some things going for it. Maybe Jaguar can tart up the interior or do something to make it seem a little more Jaguar-esque to me. And I might like it if it was in a different color besides this kind of dark black gray, if you will. But, if you're in the market for a performance SUV, maybe this is something you should look at. And I guess the vehicle that most comes to mind in terms of a direct comparison, at least in terms of something that I've driven, is the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. It really reminds me of that. It has a little bit less horsepower than that, but I don't know that you would really know that from behind the wheel driving it. Let's see what it is, this guy. And the performance is pretty phenomenal. The mid-range torque, the punch, will just really put you back in the seat. So anyway, this is the 2019 Jaguar F Pace. With all the performance goodies, pretty heavily loaded. And again, I think it's a good value for what it is when you compare it to the competition, but it is in some pretty rarefied air when you get up in a vehicle that's around $100,000. I want to remind you guys of a few things. We are GarageDLX.fm. Tales from the Garage is every Saturday from noon to 2 and 5 to 7 p.m. with myself, Scotty Gibson, Nathan Tazlar, and Jesus Garcia, the three stooges of the automotive world. We hope you guys will tune in and listen to us every week, and we rebroadcast the program every weekday from noon to 2 p.m. And we are now the award-winning GarageDLX.fm. We were recognized by the Texas Auto Writers Association a couple weeks ago, the Texas State Fair. We're back every week with a new show, new car reviews, lots of wild and crazy car talk. And, onwards, folks, to the next car review, but the Jaguar F Pace. Pretty amazing vehicle. Get back at you soon.